Dun, 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 dun. YouTubers, and welcome back. What do we have going on today? Well, I'll show you. These were the little small noids that I had on there for nitrous before, and this is the bigger one. Let's compare. Oh, hello. Get away, boy. You want none of this? Oh. So I finally upgraded my nitrous kit, and I'll tell you why. This plate right here is actually a Holley big shot plate, and it starts at 190 horsepower shot up to 300. And they don't really recommend you go below 150 on this, but I wanted to do 100 shot, and I also wanted to get everything matched up. These noids and these jets and this plate are all matched up for this setup. And like I said, for this one right here, all I had was these small noids, so I couldn't even go to the max potential of this. So what would happen if either I had to upgrade the plate and the noids, but doing all that and getting the bottle was about the same price as this NX kit or Nitrous Express. So let's go ahead and put the plate on here. I'm always super paranoid that shit might fall in there. I can't be the only one. Now that I'm looking at this, I don't really like the way it has a lip right here, and this little port right here where nitrous comes out is pretty close to that. It probably won't matter, but I do have a wooden spacer that I know fits perfectly to this intake mouth. So I got an idea. I'm gonna port that to match, and it's gonna be done like, all right, there it is. That's definitely better. I don't know if it'll do anything, but it makes me feel better. So we're gonna rock that. Let's go ahead and put the old carburetor on. Well, if you guys follow me, you know that my regulator used to be over there, and a line used to come across to my old system right there, but I moved the regulator closer to the fuel solenoid. You want to get your regulator as close to the fuel solenoid as possible, and mine's a return, so it's pretty consistent with the flow, and I had to run 2 lines back there and redo some stuff. So before I have this plugged in to the plate, I'm going to flip on the fuel right here and make sure that this guy is actually closed, because if not, it's going to very quickly flood your motor and you have to pull the plugs, all that other crap. So before I plug this back up, I'm going to make sure that it doesn't just spew fuel all over the place. I probably should have had something to catch it down there, but I'll be able to click it off soon enough. Here goes nothing. Back here is a tank for the nitrous only, the fuel. I run 110 in that, and I run pump in the main tank. So I got all this pulled out because I'm gonna have to rewire it anyway, so I went ahead and pulled it out. So let's go ahead and flip her on and hope for the best. So far so good. I'm just looking for leaks. So I redid some of these lines, and hey, leak free first time. All right. I'm going to leave this here for right now with this dangling off over here. Ooh, it's loose. I better make sure I tighten that up. So before you run your nitrous, you want to flow your system. And I've talked to my buddy. He has the same plate on a small block Chevy. It should be very similar. And he flows his right around 5 PSI when it's open. On the instructions it says 8 to like 10. This pump moves a lot of fuel. It's a very good pump. So I'm gonna probably shoot for right around 6 when I run it, and then when I hit it with the kit, I'm gonna just watch the airfield, make sure it's not stupid lean or stupid rich, and go from there. I don't want to start doing too much stuff and changing it at the moment. So I'm gonna leave that there, so when I float, to make sure it has at least 6 psi. And next I'm going to hook up the nitrous solenoid and mount it over there. Alright, so this is how I set up the nitrous noid. Right here is a filter. This is a really high flow nitrous filter. Here's my purge, comes out up there, so I can purge it from this section on. And they give you this little fitting right here, which has a small filter in there. You know, when you have something like this, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use this instead because this is way better. And you got to make sure that when you assemble all this, that everything is squeaky clean from this side to this side and going out here to everything, because you don't want any debris to get in your system at all. That can just cause a whole bunch of problems. And I prefer to use tape, and I'll show you guys in a second the way I use this. A lot of people, there's going to be mixed feelings on tape or using the paste, but I prefer the tape, and I'll show you why. If you do it right, you will never get anything that's going to come out into your system. Okay, I'm using this as an example. The reason why is when I screw it in, you'll be able to see the other side, and you can clearly see that once we get this in there, there'll be no tape on the other side. So I'm going to unscrew this real quick, and we're going to put the tape on this guy right here. Alright, so I like to hold it. If you're looking straight at it this way, I'm this way, but if you're looking this way, what you want to do, get your tape, make sure you have a nice clean tear, or if you want to cut it, however you want to do it, and you want to stay before the first thread right here. Stay before that. So I'm going to put it right here. I'll try to show you this as best I can. And I just watch it, and I'm staying right before the first thread. Hope you guys can see that. Just going around and very carefully go around right before the first thread. I can do this faster and not do it on camera, but I'm trying to keep it in frame here. Alright, now that we've gone around a couple times, just pull it. And if you look, the reason why you go that way is because you're going to turn it in this way. If you do it the other way, it's going to catch that tape and start to pull it out. So as long as you're before the first thread, you're wrapped around, you're good to go. So now, just like you do anything else, you just screw it in. And if you look on this side, you can't see any of that tape in there, because it actually pushes it back just slightly, and it makes a nice firm seat on here. And I like this tape because this is the same stuff that I use on my high-powered air rifles. When I say high-powered, it'll go through you and the next person air rifles. And they use like 3,200 to 4,200 psi. Let's get this right, 4,200 pounds per square inch. And they recommend that you use tape whenever you're making these fittings. And that's why I love this tape. If you do it right, you're not going to have any problems. Alright, so I welded these guys up because I had to make my hood even higher, because I put a spacer in there, and I think these will work. It doesn't look that great. I'm eventually going to get another hood because this is not a very big cow. It's only like 2-inch. If I get a 4-inch, it'll be better. I can lower this down a lot more. I think it's still going to come up some. Or maybe if I can find a 6-inch cow. It's hard to find them. I don't think they make a 6-inch. I've been asking people online, and I don't know, get some more recommendations. I want to find some people online who have first-hand experience with these, because they're not all created equal and some of them suck. So I want to make sure it's a good one before I drop like $600. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a bracket that goes from here to the filter, because I don't want to have this guy right here just kind of sitting there. All that vibration might mess that guy up. That's a big heavy load. So let's do that now. But first, I might as well show you guys this. Maybe I'll get used to it and say F it. I don't know. But it bothers me. But that's $600 I could spend on something else instead of a hood. So maybe I won't. Here it is. JDM S10. No one got a choice with that big huge intake. It's not horrible. It's still hitting a little bit, but it keeps it from flapping around, because if this thing is like not supported in here and this is fiberglass, this whole thing's going to start flapping around at 100-something miles an hour. But with that on there, it works pretty good. I might have to make something right here that comes up and keeps this from moving when I go to the track, because that filter is going to be off. But I'll worry about that later. Let's make this bracket first. This is going to go right here over this. This is just a nitrous bracket that I trimmed down. All right, so I went ahead and bolted it up. It's just loose right now, so I can show you what's going on with this. Because all I have right here, they didn't give you any mounts with the kit, which is fine. It's still a really good price kit. But this line right here, it's stainless steel, it's strong, but I didn't really want all that flexing, all that stress over time to possibly, crack this line. So what I wanted to do, I just used this little bracket right here like I showed you before. Made a little spacer in here because this C-clamp wasn't quite long enough to go all the way around. So, but it's still tight right here. And once you tighten that down, it'll cinch this and keep everything solid to this. So you got this rubber right here for some vibration dampening. And that way, it'll just keep it a lot more firm on there and alleviate the stress that the noid is going to have on there just flexing around. So I think that'll work pretty good. Well, thanks for making it to the end, guys. I'm going to call the video quits for right now. Everything's plumbed and set up the way I want it to be. Only thing I got to do next, so I guess this is going to be a two-part video. The next part of this video is going to be wiring up the nitrous system. And I'm also going to go online here and order another hood for this S10 because it's not high enough. I've always had hood clearance problems, even with this intake. And the whole problem with it is, it's not the back part, it's just it goes down so quickly right here. And this is where the breather and everything hit, is right here. So you might as well, so all it is probably about 1.5 inches cal. So I couldn't find a 6-inch. And look at this, this is where it's messed up one time. One of my friends decided they're gonna drop it like a regular hood, and this is there, so that happened. That was fun. So we're gonna get a new hood. And I'm gonna send this video to Nitrous Express and get some comments in them, make sure I did everything correctly, and if they tell me I did something wrong, I'm going to tell you guys in the next video. But again, thank you for making to the end of this video. Don't forget that, hit that bell, subscribe, hit that like button. Until next time, peace. Deuces, deuces, deuces.